All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Lewis Brown, Local 1000 President. Today is November 3rd, 2021. Hopefully you caught the video this morning. We're going to have fun this evening. As you know, the holidays are coming up. Veterans Day is next Thursday. Yay for veterans. All right. So we're going to get started this evening. We'll do a quick PowerPoint, and then I'll take some questions. And also, don't let me forget, we're going to talk about all this swag in the bag. And if people want this swag in the bag, you email us, askrob@seau1000.org. Make sure we have your name, your current address, your size, which particular item you want out of this bag, and we'll send it to you. Because we're not going to let it stay stored up in our buildings. We're going to get it out to the people. So, all right. So let's get this started first. Here we go. PowerPoint. And we're going to start with this first slide. Change. Someone wrote this, and they felt that I should really read this, because our union, for some people, is going through a change. But for other people, like myself, I say we're creating a whole new culture. Because you can't change what you never had. So I'm going to read this because it's really good. Change. Change is part of life. It happens whether we want to change or not, and it can bring out strong emotions. Some people are very resistant to change, and that is understandable because there is comfort in the familiar. There are many kinds of change that we will touch on in this article. First, change of direction. Earlier this year, membership voted to elect a new president. After 13 years, the membership wanted change. Now, for some of you, you'll say, no, it's been more than 13 years that people want to change. We can all speculate why this happened, but the why is not important. The fact is the majority of dues-paying members who voted wanted a change in leadership. Organizational change is a normal part of the democratic process. We highlighted above that resistance to change is a natural human reaction. Defiance to change in an organization like Local 1000. Let's try it again. Come on, hit it. All right, here we go. We'll do it again. I'm Richard Lewis Brown, Local 1000. Tonight, Local 1000 listens to you. Today is November 3rd, 2021. Hope you saw the video this morning. I'll get started all over again, starting with, quote, change on this PowerPoint slide. And we also have some swag that I'm going to show you. Make sure you send us an email or call us. Email us at askrob@seau1000.org. For the swag, tell us your shirt size. Make sure we have your right address, your full name. We'll get it out to you. All right, we'll get started again. Change. For some people in the union, change is very important. I say we must create a new culture. But for some people, they say change. So we're going to read this for these some people. Change is part of life. It happens whether we want to change or not, and it can bring out strong emotions. Some people, listen to the word some people are very resistant to change, and that is understandable because there is comfort in the familiar. There are many kinds of change that we will touch on in this article. First, change of direction. Earlier this year, membership voted to elect a new president. After 13 years, membership wanted change. And for some of you, you've been wanting change for a lot longer than 13 years. We can all speculate why this happened, but the why is not important. The fact is, the majority of dues-paying members who voted wanted a change in leadership. Organizational change is a normal part of the democratic process. We highlight above that the resistance to change, well, it's a natural human reaction. Defiance to change in an organization like Local 1000 can be problematic. Some of the problems within our labor organization have been written about and expressed before, so there is no need to travel that same ground again. However, we do need to make a very critical connection as it relates to change. Listen to this. There is a small group within the board of directors who are very resistant to change and are desperately trying to return to the status quo. They made a personal assessment within 6 weeks that the membership was incorrect. I'll read this for you again. They made a personal assessment, personal. They didn't, go through their membership of their DOC. They made a personal assessment within 6 weeks that the membership was incorrect in the election and a change in leadership was not warranted. So, let's go to change on necessity. We already know about this out-of-order board meeting they had on the 16th and 17th of October, where they think they created, listen to this, they told you I was crazy for talking about creating a new culture of excellence, but when I won the election through the grace of God through Jesus Christ, now they had to create, I'm flowing tonight. We have to create a chair position. See? They're always just running around, stealing my words. All right, change of necessity. We are in a whole new dynamic since COVID. For many of our union brothers and sisters, the way we work, where we work, and how we interact have all changed. All old processes are having to adjust to this new environment, and we must recognize that continuing to cling to the status quo no longer provides any benefit to our organization or its represented employees. Read that last sentence. Old processes are having to adjust to this new environment, and we must recognize that continuing to cling to the status quo no longer provides any benefit to our organization or its represented employees. Recently, statewide leadership correctly assessed the organizational model that had been used for years to attract new members is no longer applicable in this new paradigm. Local 1000 is working since October 1st with the restructure of our staff to change to a representational model by providing new resources and training so that we can strengthen and grow our union once again. This means members can expect their union to be there to support and represent them in the workplace when they need it. Let me be crystal clear. Working to change to a representational model. We were already a representational model before 2008, okay? And let me be crystal clear. We are still organizing. In fact, since the restructure of October 1st with the staff, so we can have one URC rep per DLC, except for a few of those big DLCs have two, the complaints of asking to speak to a supervisor has gone down dramatically. It used to be 15 every 2 weeks. Now it's kind of gone down to 2 or 3 every 2 weeks. All right, so here we go. We'll continue on. Positive change. A quote often attributed to Albert Einstein states, now everybody knows this, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. President Richard Lewis Brown recognizes that if we are to survive as a viable organization, we must adapt to this new environment. Failing to alter our approach or desperately clinging to the status quo is not an option. The amount of time and energy expended in resisting progress, fighting change, and vetoing the membership vote is not change. It's a negative movement. We no longer cling to a negative energy, that seeks to drag us backward to where we came from. That is why we have elections. Negative energy. Change is human. It challenges us to grow and make it better. Change forces us to adapt to new situations and problem solve. We must develop new ideas and strategies to meet the environment and not shrink when faced with change. President Brown has promised a new culture in our union, one that is built on positive energy and a positive direction. Welcome to a new day. Very good. Very good. Now, we're going to go through the rest of these slides. And you're going to say, oh, some of that stuff wasn't positive, Richard. I've said this from the very beginning. Some laundry has to be aired out. Some of our dirty laundry we take to the washing machine. And then sometimes we got to take that dirty laundry to the laundromat. And then sometimes you just got to get rid of it. We're going to have to get rid of some dirty laundry. Stay tuned. All right. Bingo. Membership. You said, oh, you're always worried about what they're trying to do to you, Richard. What are you doing to drive up membership? Well, I'm going home to mama. Mother. California State Employees Association. Remember all that history we did? Remember that last week? Well, here we are, back at Mom's house. It's the holidays. Oh, wish my mother was still alive. All right, so we're going back to Mom. That's where it all started. Wait a minute. What about that money? Well, here was the original Essential Worker Premium Pay petition. Thank you, Yolanda Williams, Southern California. This is what it looked like. People were having a hard time trying to fill it out, download it, send it back. It's a lot of complaints. This was the old one. But we listened to you. So before we talk to Mom, here's the new one. There you go, Yolanda Williams. And all the people who said, make it better. I hear you, Ron Rawson. Electronic. Hop on our website. Fill it out real quick. Sign it with the mouse or whatever. Boom! We need every person represented by Local 1000 to fill out this Essential Worker Premium Pay petition. It's easy to fill out. Listen, let's go back for a second. See the word? Petition? Petition, summary, and background. Blah, 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 blah. Action petition for. Blah, 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 blah. There's my name. There's my signature. That's a petition. That's a petition. Let's go to the electronic one, the brand new one. What do you see? Clear as day, and you sign your name to it. That's what you call a petition in this great country. You say, what are you saying, Richard? What do you mean? Stick with me. All right. We're going to slow down for a second. We're going to drive up membership. You say, why do I need to be a member? Because Mama said so. Because through Mama, or your mother, or your granny, good things happen. If you're a member, let's walk it down. Legal representation. Non-member, you only receive assistance in contract-related issues such as grievances and arbitration. All of that is laid out in here. Okay? Anything else, you got to be a member. Let's go down for a second. Assistance in contractual and non-contractual related issues. But only contractual issues are for non-members. You'll see here, discipline appeals to SPB. You don't see that over here. You get a one-time union representation provided if you have an initial investigatory interview over a situation. And then after that, you better sign up real quick. You should sign up before this even happens. It says non-member, no representation in discipline, rejection on probation, merit, or AWOL appeals. Now, if you come back over here, the member gets all of this help. Rejection on probation appeals to SPB, member. Merit appeals to SPB, member. AWOL appeals to Cal HR, member. Insurance and assistance services, CSEA. Affordable group rates and discounts, CSCA, that's Mama. Scholarship opportunities. Wow. Ooh, yeah, CSCA. Huh, okay. All right. Purchasing power, CSCA. Home loans, CSCA. All right. Leadership and career development opportunities. That's Local 1000. That's us. Now here's the one that I ran on. Listen to me. This is what I ran on. I said you should now charge a financial fee for a person to vote in this great country. I said it, and I still say it. Right now, only members have that voice for leadership elections and contract negotiating to ratify a contract. Now, in my heart, that should be over here as a non-member. That's the only thing. Let me say it for you again on November 3rd, 2021 at 6:44 p.m. at night. All you, quote, haters on Facebook, I still love you, but I'm going to call you out. You've been getting to pass all these months just running around, wilding out, having your little so-called meetings and doing all that talk. I'm coming back at you. This one single thing, how many got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, 13. Woo! I didn't make this up. I should have redid this and fixed the numbers around. That should be over here. In America, in this great country that I served, next week's Veterans Day on Thursday, you're welcome. You don't charge people money to vote in this great country. And when they tell you that lie, that you couldn't shop at Costco if you wasn't a member, Costco does not dictate your wages and working conditions. The exclusive right of Local 1000, representing 9 different bargaining units, over 730 different job classifications. They have the exclusive right. You can go somewhere else and join another union, but your wages and working conditions is controlled by Local 1000. Therefore, you can't go shop nowhere else. I'm so tired of people lying like that. I'm sick of it. Tell the truth. Grow up. All right, I think we beat this up enough. Moving on. CSEA. Life insurance. Short-term life insurance. Accidental death. This is really important. Whether you believe in the COVID or not, you better have some insurance. You better have some insurance to take care of yourself. And I know since I've become president, my assistant comes in every so often with bad news that I have to sign for. Okay, this life insurance is to our dues-paying members. Administered through CSEA. This is important. So when people say, why should I be a member? Now, some people say, well, I can get life insurance somewhere else. I don't know if you can beat this. I don't know if you can beat these costs. I just don't know if you can or not. And I would say you probably can't. Now, a lot of our dues-paying members, they love this. Purchasing power, member benefits through CSEA. Pay over time right from your paycheck. Now, in this particular advertisement, it says save 20% on your first order. That's a big savings. They look like they're happy people, don't they? 0% interest, a smart way to manage your budget. It replaces the need for a credit card or accessing savings for purchases. It helped me be more careful at making purchases by making sure I can afford the deduction from my check. This is what a person said in Michigan. Replaces the need for a credit card. He didn't say a high-interest credit card. That's what he should have said. Because, you know, when you go into credit card debt, sometimes in America, as Americans, once you fall behind that, I don't want to say 8 ball, but those high-interest credit cards, sometimes they can be really difficult to pay off. CSEA, through purchasing power, is making it a lot easier for you to buy things that you need. You say, well, what do I need? What do I need? Well, first, you can pay over 18 months, payroll deduction. This particular ad says 11/30, but you know they're going to do stuff through Christmas, through the holidays as well. And, you know, it says sign up to be entered for a chance to win a shopping spree up to $2,000. This is the holiday. 20% off your first order. They're telling you again. Listen to this. Woo! Wow. No credit check. Yeah. No upfront payment, no hidden fees. Pay over 18 months right from your paycheck. Handbags. You need a new handbag? Okay. You got kids? Yes, you do. You got some kids. So they got hottest game consoles. Everybody needs a cell phone. Everybody needs a TV. You know, they got a couple here. They look like they're happy. Looks like they're in love. Oh, boy. It's nice to be in love. I don't know what it feels like. But anyway, moving on. Shop now, pay over time. This is really great. So when they tell you why should you be a member, here's a nice reason. Because I was told that everybody represented by Local 1000 that you're Americans. And if I know Americans, you're going to spend money even when you don't have it. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And you're going to buy stuff during the holiday. Yes, you will. Why not buy through CSEA? Why not tell your colleague who's a non-member, you know what, go on to sign on up. Don't worry about all that internal bickering. Oh, come on. It's the holidays. You're going to see some family relatives in the holidays who you can't stand. Hey, how you doing? You know you don't love so-and-so. You love them from a distance. What do you say, Joel Osteen? I can love you from a distance. I can still love you. Get your non-members to sign up. We'll get through this, okay? Computers. Relax and surf. It's the holidays. That's what you're going to be doing. You'll be laying on your couch, probably teleworking. Computers as low as $21 a paycheck. You can't beat that. Furniture, get you some new furniture. Because, maybe your old furniture is out of date because you've been laying, I don't want to say you've been laying around because I know you do mission essential work. And I know you're the most important people in America. That pay petition, essential worker premium pay petition. But this is great. Appliances, we all need refrigerators. And of course, TV. $12 a check. And y'all tell me y'all don't want to be dues-paying members. You can't encourage people to be dues-paying members. What are we telling people? Because we know these people are buying stuff every day. All right. 916-326-4283. You can call our MRC, 866-471-7348. They'll give you the same number. It's the holiday season. Why are you not a member of Local 1000? You're going to spend money. Why not save some money? An email. Hi, Richard. I wanted to reach out with some comments hoping you would read this and that my opinion matters. First, let me say, I believe I read somewhere you are prior military. Correct. Air Force. Thank you for your service. Air Force Blue. You wonder why I wear blue and orange. Okay. Thank you for your service to our country. Additionally, I think you're doing a fantastic job in a very tough political climate. I did not set this up like this. Change? Change management is never easy. But please keep doing what you're doing. I do not support the conduct of those, not the whole board, but those on the board who oppose you, and therefore feel it's okay to cause such mayhem and act in such an extreme, unprofessional manner. They do not represent all union members with that anger-fueled hate speech against you. My comments with respect to teleworking and the stipend are that I am hoping you will continue to push for 100% remote work for those who have positions that support working remotely. As for the telework stipend being negotiated, I am hoping you will not, oh boy. As for the telework stipend being negotiated, I am not hoping that you will not settle for the $50 some other unions have settled for. I would not be happy with this given the massive revenue reported by the governor and the massive savings by not having office space overhead, with so many remote workers absorbing that on their end. My SMUD, PG&E, and Sacramento water bills are higher than ever in the 20 years I have lived in this home. I do not have a department-issued laptop nor cell phone, so I had to purchase a work laptop and mouse at the onset of the pandemic, which requires annual antivirus software renewal. Yes, we are all saving gas from not commuting. But overall, even Comcast has gone up this month, which I use at home for high-speed internet. rent, modem, router, to VPN and to work. I was told by Comcast it's all for state and federal fees, almost $7 per month. I am often low on my Verizon data each month on my cell phone for using it for work. So with that saying, there are far beyond $50 per month expenses due to teleworking. And I hope you will fight for the telework stipend to backdate to March 2020. We deserve that. I signed your petition for essential worker pay and really hope that it's pushed for and backdated to March 2020. I personally worked long hours, overtime, and did not even take a minute off the first 6 months of the pandemic. Thank you. And then it was only a sick day here and there, not much at all to date. Things are busier than ever, and state workers holding it all down should be considered by the governor. He is doling out millions to other segments of the California population and has forgotten us completely. Sorry to rant, but I love my job at DOJ. But it was a hit to lose 9.23% of my income for a year. I fully support you in demanding much more than $50 per month for a telework stipend. More like $250 or at least $150 per month seems fair. And to not have it run through SEO, where it's taxed almost in half like the $260 healthcare stipend, where I take home roughly $162 per month after taxes. This is outrageous. Please keep fighting for not having vaccine mandates. What a violation of my privacy. I reported decline to state and it was not popular to do so. I asked hard questions and it seemed to be the only was on my team doing so. The only one on my team doing so. Please keep doing what you're doing, Richard. The change is needed in this state and union. You have my full support. Stay safe and take care. Tracy McCabe. Looks like a master's in public administration. Tracy, I hear you loud and clear. And when I put these little slides together, I look at things kind of quickly and I just throw them in a little order, and the staff laughs at me and says, "Do you know what you're doing, Richard?" No, sometimes I don't. But you had no idea when you sent me that email that I was going to read it tonight. And I had no idea that I was going to read the change manifesto. That's how God works. It all just flows right in when you're in the spirit. All right, let's move on. Oh, the telework. Now, I haven't spoken much about telework. We're in confidential conversations with Cal HR. Somehow, information has leaked out. How did it leak out? Because I didn't say it. So, the bunk chairs were in the meetings, the 4 statewide officers were in the meeting, a member from Local 1000 is in the meeting. Somebody's leaking information. I don't know who it is. So, all right. Here's another email. Petition for essential worker compensation. Richard, I am not in agreement with the way you are going about this demand for essential worker pay. Granted, my knowledge is limited to my scope of feedback and input. I work for DGS at the Ziggurat, and we have been given tremendous latitude in finding our best safe working environment. The vast majority of DGS workers are at some level of telework status. The vast majority of DGS workers are at some level of telework status. And such, even though we are considered essential workers, we have been allowed to stay safe and out of harm's way. This is contrary to the premise that essential worker hazard pay, which is intended for first responders who put themselves in harm's way. Is there a reason why our union is not going back and seeking restoration of our income lost to the furlough program, which was wrongly imposed on us? State workers are sick and tired of being the first line of fiscal... Let me say this for you again. State workers are sick and tired of being the first line of fiscal defense for the state of California. Amen, Samantha Cooper. With all the surplus we partially provided through the 10% savings of the furlough program, the state should return to us the lost income of the furloughs. The days we missed were not by choice, but closer in nature to a work lockout, which we didn't want or ask for. By the way, put the no furlough clause back in the contract. Let me stop for a second. Let me talk about this. Number one, Samantha, you make some great points. Let me offer my opinion on this really quick. Number one, we were not on the furlough. We gave up our money. When you get furloughed, the state is shut down for a specified day, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, on a certain day of the month. It shuts the state down. And you cannot shut all agencies down like that. You cannot furlough all agencies. But if you can talk the presidents of those 12 public sector unions to give up the money, now you're on to something. And we agreed to give up our money voluntarily. When you say intended for first responders, to all those people in EDD, don't come screaming at me. I hear you loud and clear. And to all these other job classifications who have worked from home that has kept the 4th largest economy on earth going, we salute you. We're all in this together. That's what he told us when that pandemic started. He said, we're all in this together. We all got to make a sacrifice. But those state legislators did not make no sacrifice. And when they're telling you that you got to be mandated to be vaccinated, are those state legislators and their staffs, are they mandating that they get vaccinated? What about the federal government? You got me talking politics tonight. Let me get back to my pulpit here. All right, moving on. Stephanie Nelson. Hi there. I just wanted to thank you all for doing the petition for us to get essential worker pay. Hope we get it, especially considering that the state is buying Teslas that are over $40,000 each for at least 6 prisons. Just so the wardens who make over $10,000 a month can drive them. I heard that other state departments are also getting these Teslas. Hold on, didn't Elon Musk, didn't he take his money and run to Texas? Okay, I'm confused. All right. This sort of thing is frustrating as a state worker who served CDCR, Folsom State Prison Correctional Officers, executive, medical, and free staff throughout the entire pandemic, making sure that their salaries, overtime, and benefits and retirements were just right. Thank you for fighting for us. No, Stephanie, thank you for sending the email. Thank you for not giving up on Local 1000. Thank you for being a dues-paying member. No, thank you, Stephanie. How's that? Okay? All right, so I say this with love, with happiness, and joy. When I say the haters is what the young folks say. It stands for hypocrisy. It stands for the evil ones, if you're righteous. There's a person called Jonah Paul. Now, this is how I lay people out when I go on Facebook. I see your name, and I'm going to type the date that you did it, so in case you remove your post, Mr. Jonah Paul. Because some people, they talk that stuff on Facebook, and then when things get hot, here they go deleting it. You know. November 2nd, 1:31 p.m., 527 views as of 6:47 a.m., November 3rd, 2021. That's how you lay out a Facebook comment post. Just like that. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. This is what he says. I love 97.5. It's the best station for music in Sacramento. But, see, put that but in there. Now he's trying to qualify. It's not a politically neutral station. Well, whose opinion is that, Jonah? It's owned by the Black Chamber of Commerce, who tend to, but not always take political stances that I strongly disagree with as a union activist. Hold on a second. Let me stop you right there. So you want to talk about the Black Chamber of Commerce? That's what you want to do? And I'm going to bet you that 90% of the Black Chamber of Commerce are descendants of U.S. slavery. But yet you want to talk about politics to black folks and talk about union activists. I didn't know they had a union when the slaves was picking cotton, Jonah Paul. You say I make everything about racism or whatever. This country was built on capitalism. And that capitalism came from slaves, Jonah Paul. Before there was a union, there was slavery in this country. But you want to talk about the Black Chamber of Commerce? You want to go there with me? Try me. So you may be talking to these other African Americans, but you got a black man on your hands with me. You got a brother. You better leave these black folks alone. They were nice enough to let me come on their radio station. You know, they're not part of the conservatives. They're not part of the Freedom Foundation. They don't work for the Koch brothers, all them lies they tell you. Yeah, but you want to talk about these black folks, Jonah Paul? You better try again. You better find one of these so-called African Americans who think that they're so good and they're so educated with their college degree. Yeah, look for them. That's who you should hang with. When one scholar was invited on the air to speak about one of America's great labor leaders, A. Philip Randolph, that's right, A. Philip Randolph, he marched with Dr. King, D.C. In fact, if I remember correctly, it was his idea to do that march. Okay. He was constantly talked over and interrupted by the host. I'll read for you again. When one scholar was invited on the air to speak about one of America's great labor leaders, and that is accurate, A. Philip Randolph, he was constantly talked over and interrupted by the host. If you can't talk in 15-second to 35-second sound bites, those hosts will interrupt you. They don't have all day for you to talk for 4 or 5 minutes the way you call Richard Lewis Brown on Wednesday nights on Local 1000 Listens to You. They don't have time for you. They're going to control that narrative. They're going to control that conversation. You got to talk fast and furious and know your facts. So they will interrupt you. Jonah Paul, maybe you don't know that. So Jonah says, I was so frustrated I had to call in to politely ask the host to let the man have a chance to get his opinion across. You have to look through the hype. He may have good intentions, but this is a stunt like all the rest. So Jonah Paul, you want to say that I'm a stunt? So you're telling all those voters that I'm just a stunt. Let me tell you something, Jonah Paul, and all you other so-called Facebook wannabe talkers. Anytime you want to come down here on Wednesday night and do a live video with me, come on down. Come on down with all your lies and conspiracy ideas. I'm going to start calling you people out for what you are. And I'll still put my faith in God through Jesus Christ. I'm the president of Local 1000. My powers are fully intact. We're having a board meeting December 18th and 19th. Jonah Paul, come on down to the Holiday Inn if it's in you. Come on down and see the president run a board meeting. You'll get a chance to meet all the other DLC presidents and new bunk chairs or re-elected bunk chairs. Since you're talking, Jonah Paul. And you have your little quote, strike wave, and I saw you making those comments about he's down there at Local 39 supporting their strike because I'm not a hypocrite. And you call yourself the strike wave. Anyway. You know, I am from the black community, and this is appalling to me when you want to call off the Black Chamber of Commerce. And I hope all the black folks on Facebook in Sacramento, Richard Lewis Brown, I was on 97.5. They gave me the utmost respect. And I'm giving it back to them. Jonah Paul, you can mess with me, but these black folks here in the Black Chamber of Commerce, back up. Black folks who are working together in unison with their money to do a radio station for the minority community in Sacramento. And we have a lot of state employees, African American and outside the African American culture, that listens to 97.5. Leave 97.5 alone. Moving on. Oh, so here we go. Dear President Brown, November 1st and 2nd, 2021, I conducted a poll of SEIU 1000 members who work at the Chancellor's Office at the California Community Colleges. We are under DLC 794. I am the only job steward at that job site. And so here's the question this person asked. Should the portion of the SEIU 1000 Board of Directors who are subverting President Richard Brown's reform agenda stop their interference and respect the voting will of the members who elected President Brown to carry out the reforms he promised to enact? 100% yes. 0% no. Going forward, should the DLC 794 President and Bargaining Unit Chair consult with union members on matters before the SEIU 1000 Board in order to get their advice on how to vote? 1,000% yes, 0% no. These results are consistent with those reports by DLC 785 President Yolanda Yanez. She polled all 9 of her stewards, and all 9 did not support the effort to subvert your leadership and undo the will of the members who elected you. Thank you, President 785 Yolanda Williams. Our job site plans to reach out to our DLC leadership to request we be informed of board agendas in advance so that we can conduct similar polls and then advise them how we believe they should vote. With your permission, I would like to briefly share these polling results at your meeting tonight. When it is my turn to speak during the open forum, I believe this is an essential model of all DLCs should adopt. Listen to the members and do as they direct. Uh-oh. No, I have registered for tonight's meeting, but so far I have not received a participation link. That's doctor. When you put a PhD behind your name, I'm going to give you the utmost respect. I will always refer to you as Dr. Eric L. Nelson. Dr. Nelson. Thank you. All right, I'm going to skip over this little stuff because I've been talking long enough. I'm still going to get to it, though. Trust me. I'm still going to get to it. All right, so I'm going to sit down. Oh, what? Nope. Swag. Let me get some more stuff in here. More swag. I like this, actually. This looks good. Whoever designed this did a good job. Swag. More swag. This is what is this? A who?
Cell phone stand.
A cell phone stand. Okay. And a fan. Okay. All right. So that's a fan. That's that. Here's more fans. In case your boss is getting on your nerves, wave that at him. I mean, in a very peaceful, respectful way. I don't want to be accused. This, I'm gonna fool a lot of people with this. This is a rain parker. And you know what? Mark your calendar. I'm gonna keep this myself. Because I run in the rain sometimes. Okay, but that's a rain parker. More of what I just showed you. These are nice. These are really nice. And I got a big stack. Got a lot of those. This is a smaller shirt. I think this is a lady's shirt or a kid's shirt. Get it for your kid. Your kid? Yeah. California for all. You see the little kids. This is good. This is popular. Hopefully we have your size. The popular polo. Oh, this is like a. Oh, this is nice. This is the button up. How many more we have of these?
About one box.
Okay, so we have one box of these still left, and this size is a. Well, it's a small. So if you can't get it, if you can't wear it, get it for your kid. Because if you don't teach children when they're young about the importance of unions, the schools will not teach them that. In my personal opinion. I don't know the school curriculum. I'm just saying my personal opinion. Okay. And this is another shirt. This is a regular shirt. California for all. Healthcare justice, education justice, worker and family justice, housing justice, environmental justice. So when you say, Richard, I thought you wasn't being involved in social justice issues. I'm not. But this is still a nice shirt, and many of you believe in these issues very strongly. So you should wear the shirt to show what you believe in. And then we have, these are key holders. Okay. And I think that's it. And I've been asked to show this several times. And, oh my gosh, I didn't do it. Okay, so we're going to put this back up. And here's the one thing. So it's 7:14. I'm going to take some questions, and then I'm going to stand back up. We're going to go through this website. I'm determined. Because you said we don't know our structure, and the staff worked around the clock to get that structure up on our website, along with the electronic essential worker premium pay petition, and they got it done. So last Wednesday night, you said all those different things, and you thought I probably didn't pay you any attention, but I did. I was listening to you. All right, so here, I'm going to sit down. Thanks, dear. All right, so I'm going to ask people, they ask your questions, try to ask them kind of quick, and I'm going to talk really as fast as I can and get to the next caller. All right, let's go. First caller, Frank Askin. Good evening, Frank.
Good evening, Richard. Hey, that's a cool polo shirt that you got on there. Nice color, purple. So, quick question. During one of last week's videos, you had mentioned that the board is only concerned with getting the stipend back from the governor's office. Now, per the policy file, the governor's office has nothing to do with that stipend. It's for the 4 statewide officers. Now, also on their
Okay.
let me holler at you real quick for the POPs for union leave. Can they be a little bit more transparent? So, meaning like, what are Jack and Carrie Dean both doing out on union leave? Is there some specific reason that they're both out on union leave for? Can we be transparent? Because the members have a right to know. And then also, I don't know if you remember, but I do. Back when you were campaigning, do you remember when you called Yvonne Walker, back then president of SEIU Local 1000, a poor excuse for a Marine? Do you remember saying that? Because I do. You thought I forgot, didn't you? And during your video this morning, when you talked about it's Richard working for the workers, it's not Richard working for the workers. We're all one big family. It's togetherness. It's not just Richard. It's everybody, including the bargaining team. So it's just not Richard. Thank you very much for your time this evening, sir.
All right. Listen, Frank Askin, thanks for calling in. I'll be very brief because I want to get to the next caller. Jack Dean, and I think he said a Carrie Dean, they're on a special project helping me build membership. They reached out to me, and they reached out in good faith. Quite a few people have reached out. Well, I don't say quite a few because I have to give you the exact number, and I don't have the number in front of me. There are people who have reached out to me in good faith, wanting to be on union leave to help build membership on special projects. Fulfilling a campaign promise, I told the MTC because they weren't treated correctly, in my opinion, that, you know, if they want to get an I-1, I'd put them on full-time union leave doing special projects. Annika Walls is working to ensure that we increase our membership, and David Jimenez, oh man, he's just doing the most in his special projects and reviewing our finances, and he's doing a few other things that I'm not allowed to talk about right now. So you're on special projects. Listen, even you and other people are mad about Irene Green being locked out of the building. She's also on full-time union leave. She's also doing special projects. So when you talk about Jack and Carrie Dean, I think you should, you know, look at everyone, not just single out people like that. The other thing, Yvonne Walker, poor excuse for a Marine. In my campaign, you're right, I did say that. Because as a veteran, I can talk about other veterans. If you didn't serve the country, I would suggest you stay out of that. I mean, it's a free country. You can speak your mind. But I'm Air Force. And when I come to talk to you, I'm speaking from supremacy from the air. And I respect the Marine Corps. But the Marines I know they put they have a hierarchy. I won't mention the hierarchy, but they have a hierarchy that they'll die for. And I respect the Marines. What I could not understand about Yvonne Walker's decision making was she wasn't putting the Union first. That was my opinion in that campaign. And I said it, and I know what I say. All right, moving on. So, DLC 772 President Mary Dela Cruz. Good evening, Mary.
Good evening. Thank you for taking my call.
You're very welcome.
First of all, I want to thank you for your service.
Welcome.
I appreciate that. And I do know that, I appreciate your PowerPoint. Thank you for the information. It's always very informative. My question that I had, so does Cal HR also have this on their website, the information in regards to what has been posted or what you said was being leaked? Do they already have it posted on their website?
Mary, not to my knowledge. I think what people have said is 6 other unions have telework agreements, and they start on October 1st. And some of these unions, well, I think all of them got, I want to say, a $50 for remote and $25 for office-centered workers. So a lot of people say, well, maybe we should just take the same thing. So everyone has an opinion about telework. And what we're doing here at Local 1000 is we're fighting to get the best possible telework agreement, including a telework stipend. And so as you saw, the one person who I just read, I believe it's Stephanie, she said that $50 is kind of laughable, and I'd have to agree with that. So with those secret conversations we've had, we've been having exchanges with Cal HR. Cal HR is watching this video, and they want us to accept whatever they give us. Listen to how I said that. They want us to accept whatever they give us, which tells you they never negotiated in good faith to begin with. That's my opinion.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
And I agree with you because historically, I'm just saying what I've seen the practice being. My concern, and I just will leave part with this, is that I have noticed that their response or their definitions of what a teleworker is or who should be entitled isn't across the board for all. Like teleworker, I think I brought this up before. Some classifications telework from home, don't go into the office, but they lead to the field from home. So their home base is home, which does impact their internet, their PG&E, whether it's winter or summer. Their electricity bills go up. But the state doesn't consider that a definition of a teleworker. So because you technically work out in the field, but you come home. I may go out and survey, but then I come home and do my write-up and I'm working at home. So, their 50 Shades of Gray needs to be addressed and really specific so that others won't be left out of whatever negotiation that takes place. And thank you for all your hard work. And I agree, don't accept crumbs. We don't accept crumbs. Thank you.
Well, hey, you're very welcome. And look, those conversations are confidential. This is just my opinion. I have not released any information about what we've exchanged to them and what they've exchanged to us. Let's keep hope alive. All right, next caller, Darren Stahl. Good evening. Good evening, Darren Stahl.
Good evening, President Brown and the rest of SEIU 1000, member of DLC 761. I want to try and cover a few things. I love it when people use the Costco analogy, because guess what? You don't need a membership at Costco to buy alcohol and cigarettes. So I equate that still to folks still needing representation. They get a right to vote. That's what I say on that. We have a few things going on right now that's happening during COVID that I really want a lot of folks to think about and I want to put out there. These 14 or 15 folks that are trying to do what they're doing at the DLC president level as far as trying to remove you from the power structure, so to speak. I find it funny that these same folks, or most of them, were also the same ones who removed the NTC from the last administration and basically made them useless. Did not allow them to do their job. So I urge everybody that's listening to really pay attention to what's going on, because these folks have a track record of slowing us down as a union. Who knows where we could have been if MTC was actually allowed to do what they were trying to do the last administration. On top of that, right now at my office, DOB headquarters, when we're talking about the state is making moves to lessen the workforce, while we are dealing with DLC board members with their noses in the air, slowing things down, the state is making moves to lessen our job structure. I get a chance to be at headquarters every so often. Every time a few weeks go by, the headquarters lobby looks like a social gathering for Silicon Valley representatives. The state is right now using technology to figure out a way to remove employees down the road. So we have to be aware of that now. We're distracted by these other group of clowns that are trying to do what they're doing, and right now they're stopping us from being able to see what's going on right now. I also see that these 14 or 15 folks were also in power, as far as years ago when the state was using scab labor. I've always heard folks talking about how Schwarzenegger was trying to threaten to privatize the state, but guess what? It happened under this administration, and it happened under the previous administration. There was a company called Fanuel when Covered California came out. Private company, private contractor. When EDD was having its problems, what happened? Oh, the governor trots out Deloitte and Touche. Private contractors. So when people are saying that they are fighting, especially for the folks on the board, when they say that they're fighting for the union, they're not fighting for the union. They're standing by and being spectators, because the state is already using private contract labor to do jobs of union representatives. And I'm going to call out the folks at CalPERS, because this is a joke, because one of the folks on the CalPERS board sits on the DLC board, and she knows who she is. CalPERS is using contractors to manage retirement accounts. That's unacceptable. Those jobs were being done by union members. So when these folks are sitting here saying they want to try and strengthen the union, trying to make changes to the union, they're not trying to do anything, because everything that's going on is happening right now in front of them, has happened on their watch, and they just choose to be spectators. And for me, I'm looking for my leadership to be unionists, not servants. So that's pretty much all I've got for right now. Two things I want folks to actually look at as well. Mr. Jimenez, I look forward to an audit coming out in the near future. I really would be excited to see what's been under wraps for the past couple of years. The other thing too, OPEB. I really would like to see us get more educated on OPEB and what's going on with that, because I really think that we're missing out on that. And there's some things going on with the state on OPEB that is basically going to damage us further down the road, especially when it's time for retirement. And that is all I have for tonight.
Darren, 1,000% agreed. I cannot add anything behind that. Agreed. It's not very often I can just stop talking after a person talks. Next caller, Michael Gus.
Good evening. I ask that you give me my full 2 minutes and do not interrupt me like you did the last time. I'm a member. I pay $82 a month. I met with my DLC president, who is a great person. And you constantly attack her and abuse her, like you attacked Jonah tonight, like you've attacked me on previous calls, in violation of the SEIU International Constitution and of our policy file. You swore an oath to uphold that. You also swore an oath to not take action that can threaten members' jobs. And you're doing that too. And believe me, I know. And, there's only 60 people on this call because no one cares, because you're irrelevant. And no one cares. People are leaving the union left and right. You're also a liar. I voted in your survey. And there were dozens of us who voted. It was not 100%. You know that. And I'd like to know, my $82 a month that goes to union dues, how much of that is being spent on lawsuits about your behavior to SEIU staff, including one of our treasured brothers and sisters who was fired during her pregnancy? I'd like to know how much of my money is doing that. And I want to thank the board of directors for taking their action. I think it's inexcusable that our general counsel hasn't ruled on that. It needs to be ruled on it. The board has the power. They stepped up. We had elections. We as members can vote in them. And they've said enough. And you know why they said enough? They said enough because you're costing us money. You're costing us money. And that's the point, isn't it, Richard? The people who paid for your mailer that went out to 100,000 state employees. How do you afford that on an AGPA salary? I'm an AGPA too. I know what the max is. You can. And you threaten people every week. Have you no shame in the great McCarthy hearings? That's what I say. Have you no shame? I stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in this union who have been abused and bullied by you, and I say tonight, enough, and I call on you to resign right now. Thank you, and have a great day.
So, as you can see, Michael Gus is Michael Gus. I put my faith in God and Jesus Christ. He wanted 2 minutes. He got, I guess, 4 or 5. I never interrupted him. You see, I'm not showing you any emotion. None at all. You know, Michael Gus was a guy who called months ago, and he tried to get on me about the human rights community. He was a Jewish man. And I'm laughing because I have a Jewish man sitting by my side here. And the only reason why this Jewish man is sitting by my side is because of Michael Gus. And, you know, I smile. They tell you that I'm intimidating and I'm bullying. That's all the racist statements they make about black men in America. And a lot of people don't like when I say that. Let's move on to the next caller. Hi, Kimberly. Good evening, Kimberly.
Hi, can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Sure.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. So I have 3 quick comments and 2 questions, all of them quick. So I'll be done in 2 minutes, I hope.
Okay.
First, I want to thank you for highlighting the differences at the beginning of the meeting between members and non-members. You know, these differences, I think, were implemented in a policy after Janice was implemented, and if I'm not mistaken, but it was never promoted or widely publicized, and I think that was a real missed opportunity. I actually was not a member until after Janice, and then I decided to become a member, and in part, it was because of reading those policy changes. So I thank you for that. I think it will, I'm hopeful it will help increase numbers. Second, as a U.S. Army veteran, I appreciate and respect the service of both you and Yvonne Walker. Most other folks didn't sign up for what we did, and I don't believe there's any higher call or honor. And as a graduate of an ethnic studies program, I gotta say thanks to you and Jonah for the tip to tune in to listen to 97.5. I'm gonna have to change my dial tomorrow morning, so thank you for that.
Okay.
Now on to my 2 questions. The essential premium pay petition, if we did the first one, which I did, do we still need to do the second one?
No.
Okay. All right, good, thanks. I was worried about, you know, doing another one and then having you have to go through duplications and all of that, so I'm covered. And then my last ethics studies graduate. I love the social justice issue T-shirt that you showed. Are those for sale somewhere, or how do we go about ordering them?
Send me $1,000. No, I'm teasing. I'm just teasing. Relax. Relax, because I don't want people to say he's selling stuff for $1,000. Just send us your name, your full name, your shirt size, your address, and tell us which particular the social justice T-shirt that you saw. Tell us that exact shirt,
Yeah.
and we'll get it right out to you. It'll be just that easy. We sent someone a couple of days. This person actually asked for a contract and some swag. So I should have said that too. If you want a contract, we'll send you a contract, because we want you to be educated. We don't want to keep you in the dark. You know, some people do things.
You know, I appreciate that. I'm along with the social justice, as a social justice advocate, I'm also an environmental justice advocate. So I prefer to stay in the paper, and I can do the contract online. But thank you for the offer.
Of course. Well, thank you for calling in, and like I said, send it to askrlb@seiu1000.org, and we'll get you some swag out to you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks for the call, and thank you for your service, Army veteran. All right.
For sure.
Very welcome. All right. Next caller, Frank DeMatos. Good evening, Frank.
Hi, Mr. President. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, I love you, okay? So just to let you know that, I know you've been getting a beating started this presidency.
Thank you.
My question is pretty much a call for help tonight, sir. I work for CDCR. I actually been teleworking, never having even gone into a prison. There's a potential my job duties state that once in a while I would go into a prison, but since my 1.5 tenure, I have never gone into a prison. Now I am being subject to the vaccine mandate. Even though I test, I comply with mask mandates when I go in the office. I very rarely go in the office. I've been asked either I do a religious exemption, medical exemption,
right,
or I'm under threat of discipline if I don't get the vaccine by January 12th, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not a nurse, I'm not a medical professional, I don't go. I am responsible. I do not go do anything irresponsible as far as giving people COVID and so on. So my question is tonight, sir, is what help can anybody at the union give me regarding maybe reviewing my religious exemption, maybe talking about my particular case? Because another thing that concerns me is, sir, is that I am within, at the deadline, I am within 5 months of vesting in my health insurance, which is of no fault of my own, that I am being forced under disciplinary action to take a shot that I do not religiously believe that I should have to take. So I just wanted to know if there's any help you can give me. You can talk to me privately, or you can refer me to a number, whatever. I guess mine is just a call for help, and I'm sure that a lot of people are in the same boat as I am. I'm sure I'm not the only one, which kind of offends me, because just because 62 people are here tonight, well, it doesn't mean that there's not thousands and thousands of members that don't care and are in a similar boat.
Right.
So my question is just a call for help. Can you send me some directions, some help that I can call? And I'm more than happy to hear any advice you can give me, sir. And thank you for holding this meeting. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Oh, before you, did you hang up? Did you hang up? All right.
No.
So one quick question before you hang
I'm
up.
here.
What is your job classification?
I am a associate management auditor, but I do not really go into prisons. I actually review reports and audits of, correctional counselors.
So I want you to call the MRC at 866-471.
Okay, hold on, sorry, give me just a second.
Oh, you know what?
866?
Yeah, 866-471-7348. But I also want you to send me a text because someone is reaching out to me. They want to speak to you. They also want to talk to you about that situation. So my number is 408 207 2339.
207
Yeah, 2339.
2339.
Yeah, so I can share a number with you.
Okay, so it's 408 207.
Yeah, 2339. 408 207
Okay.
2339. And I have two different people
and that
now.
person just texted you just now, is that correct?
Yeah, yes. They want to talk to you about the religious
I can text
declaration.
them right back, sir.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, thank you for calling. And I
Thank
love
you so much.
And I love you too.
There's no need for critical race theory, sir. I just wanted to let you know that. Because a white man and a black man love each other.
I love you too.
All right, with that, I'll leave you to help the other members.
All right,
Thank you so much.
thank you. All right. Next caller, Yolanda Williams. Good evening, Yolanda. Good evening, Yolanda Williams.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, how are you?
And I'm good. And the members out there that are on this call. Now, my first thing is to speak about, I guess it's Michael Gus. You said there were 60 people on this call, but you don't know how many people are watching. Fact. Okay. Next one. The DGS person who was speaking, she said the vast majority of them are working, and she's all good with teleworking or something like that. Well, that might be fine and dandy for DGS. But there's other people out here that work for the state that have the technology, should be working from home as well. So let's not forget them.
I'm listening.
Just because you're working and you're teleworking and you've been good and good with your supervisor or what have you, there's a lot of people who they have the technology to let these people work at home, and for whatever reason it may be, supervisor don't like them or whatever, they're not teleworking. So DGS, good for them, but understand there's other members out here that are not working, and the union needs to fight and make sure that the language, as this other DLC lady said, the language is on point to where everyone who is capable and have the technology should be able to telework. Point blank, period. Okay? Now, and then, let's see. The Michael Gus guy, got to get back to him. The Constitution and the file and all this. I would like to say that the president is doing the best that he can. I think he's voted in, as everybody has seen. He's doing what he can. And for the quote unquote haters out there that continue to do things and say things, it's just, you look kind of foolish because there's still people who are supporting this man, and he's getting momentum, as you can see, with the calls, with the subscribers on YouTube, with SEI Local 1000 page, and it's rising. So obviously something he's doing it right, regardless if you like him or don't. So this hate, you need to really check yourself on that. Look into yourself for why you hate somebody so much that you can't respect the vote. And my last thing, can I get a raincoat?
A raincoat? You mean the parka? You want the parka?
Whatever you call it, yeah.
All right. So we're taking it down
Yeah.
now, Yolanda. We'll try to get you that rain parka. Yeah. And I want to thank you for calling in. And as far as Michael Gus is concerned, let me tell you something, Yolanda. you know who I am. Remember, when DLC 787 president, at the time she was the vice president, Teresa Taylor told me to, suck a man's private part. And the daughter told me to eat a man's private part. Remember that part? And how they kind of like forget all about that? See, when I call these people out for who they are, I'm not backing up. So Michael Gus, when he says that I'm irrelevant and I'm a liar, no. People know who the liars are. People know this. And they're going to continue to know it because I'm gonna keep preaching it. And I'm not going away. So we wish Michael Gus and everyone else a happy holidays. But I'm the president of Local 1000. When I call for a meeting, there will be a meeting. And this idea that they called their little meeting and that, they have a chair now and all that. Well, let's see. Let's see. Thank you for calling in. Next caller, DOC 789 President Eileen Balton. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi. I hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, Yahweh Richard.
Yes.
And to all the relatives on here, I just want to comment on the medicine you wear today. It brings great joy to my heart. All of us, we all come from that medicine wheel, red, yellow, black, and white, and we all come from the four directions. It is Native American Heritage Month, and I think it's just, my heart is just pounding right now just looking at that bed. So thank you for that. And the truth will set you free. I am currently I'm currently the new chair for the Native American Human Rights Committee because the truth set us free. And I would like to ask that any of the presidents on here, if you could reach out to us on the SCIU website and email us. We could go onto your website and come and talk to your members about what the Native American Human Rights Committee wants to do throughout the state of California. I applaud you for letting everyone have their opinions and listening to them. And I say that our DLC 789 supports you.
Thank you.
We don't, Bill Hall, his last email, he said, we might have to go to court, have patience. That just tells you right there, you're in charge, and all I want to do is raise up my DLC, raise up my membership, work on an NA committee, and support the executive board and what they're doing around the state. And then, and with our DLC. Thank you for all of the reports we received. Thank you for giving us the time to go visit our members and letting us have a voice and, and working with each other. I just want to thank you. So Yahweh.
Well, thank you for calling in, Eileen. It's been a true pleasure meeting you, and hopefully we can become friends for the long term. When you put this much work in, with this kind of passion and energy, either you create long-term friendship, or you create enemies. There's usually no halfway. You find out who your friends are. I'm looking at you. And looking at you too. You find out what they're made of. Moving on. And, oh boy, Angela Pruitt, let's get it. Angela.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, big sis, go ahead.
Hi. All right. So, okay, for that gentleman, I'm going to start off nicely. For the gentleman who was asking the question about his religious exemption, all he needs to do is to file a reasonable accommodation and send it to the DMU, and they'll get back to him. Then they normally set up a meeting, because I just did one today with one of my coworkers. She asked me to go with her, be the union rep, because she was kind of nervous, didn't know what they were going to do. But they are accepting your reasonable accommodation, so for your religious and medical. So it's not a hard process, and I think that they are. trying to work with people for their religion. They didn't even ask. We went on that call a good 10 minutes. All they said was, we're going to accommodate you. All we need you to do is you have to go in and do your weekly testing, have to wear your N95 mask when you're around others and going into the workplace. He said he doesn't go, but every now and then. So go get fit tested for your N95, and then you just submit all that stuff to the DMU, and they'll accommodate you. So it's called their reasonable accommodation. Fill it out, send that to them. Make sure you go get fit tested and get your N95 mask. It's simple. It's not that hard. It was hard when the pandemic first started because they didn't want to do it for anybody. But they're sort of kind of softening up a little bit. So, okay, so that was the nice part of it. Now, for the other part of it, I know, what's his name, Frank Atkins, whatever his name is, he called me out. I didn't even bother to respond back to him because he got mad. I mean, I didn't call anybody names, but I just feel like if the shoe fit, wear it. So he got mad at me and said, Andrew calling people crazy. If you're acting crazy, I'm calling you crazy. If you get on here and act bipolar, you bipolar. I can't do nothing about that. That thing with Michael Gus, was he crying? Because it sounded like to me that he was crying. I don't know what he crying for Teresa for. You always disrespecting her. Listen, nobody is forcing you. Nobody's got a gun to your head to tell you to get on these calls. Nobody is telling you to stay in this union if you're that unhappy with it. Move on. Nobody's forcing you guys to do anything. But getting on here, acting like juveniles, we're not in high school. Get on here, say what you got to say. If you don't like it, just don't deal with it. That's what I do. If I don't like something, I just don't deal with it. I don't keep getting on here every freaking week. Getting on here, first he started, oh, hi, like that shirt, Richard. That's nice. Look at that polo. Yeah, but let me tell you what you did. You did. I mean, is that crazy? That's damn crazy. That's all there is to it. You don't want to be called crazy? Stop acting like it. You getting on here, Michael Gus? Now you got 60 people. Ain't nobody listening. You got your ass on here. You listening. My thing of it is they need to cut out all of that. It is what it is. It ain't gonna change. Period. Point blank. Period. These people, I mean, I really want to call them a whole lot of other things. I'm gonna keep it professional, keep it real, keep it 100, and just move on. But I'm just sick and tired of it. Don't come on if you don't like what's being said. Don't be in the union. You can keep your $80-something Michael Gus. Keep it. I would rather you keep it and not come on here and we got to hear you whining like some so-and-so, so-and-so. Just don't come. You, Frank, hey man, you really need some help. Really and truly you do. You nice and then you flip the script and then jump all over here. I mean, I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life except for what I know. I'm a psychiatric nurse. I call it what it is. That's bipolar behavior. Okay? Love you, Richard. I think you're doing a great job. You got a lot of people behind you. And just keep going like you've been going. That's all. Those of us who want to stay, we're going to stay. I know I got some of my members in my office that wasn't union members have signed up to become members now. The union is growing. So don't believe that it's not. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Take care, love, bro.
Oh, thank you, big sis. Listen, Angela Pruitt always puts a smile on my face. I think she says a lot of things that other people don't have the courage to say openly. I love Angela. I love this union. And even though people like me and Michael Gus, it seems like we're a car crash, which we are. The great thing about this country, you can talk a whole lot of stuff. Because you have that freedom of speech, that First Amendment. But that First Amendment right wasn't guaranteed to some people when they came to America. And I'm going to keep saying this, and I don't care if you don't like it. You'll learn to love me, or you'll learn to respect me. There are certain people in this union who will never respect me. I still love them anyway. because that's my faith in God and Jesus Christ. Next caller, Melissa. Good evening, Melissa.
Hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm doing great. Talk to me.
I have two comments.
Sure.
First of all, the lady who was on there right before me, I love her. I don't know her, but I love her already.
Okay.
I just want to say, like, for these people, it's always the same few people putting you down, saying rude comments. I just want to give you the appreciation that you deserve for what you're doing for our members. You are bringing this union back to the members. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate you and I thank you, especially in my DLC. We are growing in numbers as far as the stewards go, and I thank you so much. It helps us all if we're together in numbers. I just want to say I appreciate you. I love what you're doing. I respect you, and I respect the way that you act with these crazy people. And that's all I have to say.
Melissa, thank you for calling in. I don't know if you ever called in before. I had the pleasure of meeting you, a few weeks back. I met you and your fiance. And that was a very, very nice time. I have not forgotten that evening. I want you to know that. And I look forward to continuing to, grow our membership. And even though we have people, as I call them, the haters, I say that with love in my heart, and they say all these evil and rude things about me, I want people in this country to be able to speak their mind. But here's what I always ask people. When you come for me, and you come to give me the riot act, and you're coming to rip my head off, when I get back at you, don't you dare throw in my face I'm the president. Because when you come trying to knock my head off, and I'm the president, I'm going to get back at you with the same intensity, but just a little bit more than what you can handle. So don't throw in my face about me not acting presidential. Because when you were trying to destroy me, you didn't care about me being the president then. You showed me no respect then. But yet you want me to stay highly dignified and let you just run over me. Let me say this to you, to Melissa, to other people. If you think you can talk all that stuff about me without me checking you, you better wake up. Because I'm not the one you fool with like that.
And I support you no matter what happens. I support you. And just like everybody else, every president for all the DLCs, we are all human. No one's going to be 100% perfect.
Thank you.
So I support you through thick and thin. I'm behind you through thick and thin.
And you know what?
And that's all that matters.
And you know what? Melissa, I'm going to give it back to you. You give me 100%, I'm going to give you back 150 to you and your fiance. And we'll call that even. How's that?
I'll take it.
All right, I'll
support you any way I can.
I know, and
anything you need from me, you reach out.
I got you, Melissa, and I'm gonna see you. We'll be crossing paths. That's a promise. Again.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, next caller, Rebecca Cardoza.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Rebecca Cardoza.
Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Hello, Richard Lewis Brown. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I am doing awesome. Thank you for the video this morning. I have been watching you since you won.
Okay.
Since the police were called to your house.
Okay.
Every video.
All right.
I am in DLC 771. I am with CSH, but I will be back at CDCR next week, and I'm excited.
Okay.
So, sorry, I can't hear myself talking if I'm yelling. I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great.
On 7/9/21, you tried to have an emergency board meeting. DLC 703, 710, 722, 723, 725, 746, 751, 752, 761, 765, 768, who did not want any of the meetings recorded, she said. 770, 772, 782, 784, 785, 786, 787, 788, 789, 790, 792, 793, and 799 were the only board members that got back on that call. I know, I'm sorry, I've been doing my research on this for a little bit.
Yes.
They were the only board members that got back on that call that you tried to have an emergency board meeting with. They didn't even give you the respect to give you enough people to vote. So they want the respect for this fake meeting that was Ruth Kuiper, Kevin Healy, Francine Stevenson, Bill Hall, Mr. Richard Wake, which, Teresa Taylor, the one that called you when I was watching the video, her daughter, her husband, everybody calling so we could not watch you on Facebook Live.
You're right.
Jerome Washington and Robert Gilbert, the Hateful Eight. Okay? I've been with you this whole time. These same people are harassing you. I hate that our Facebook Live is merged tonight because our little group on your page, we get along great, we are supportive, but we're merged with the SEIU group tonight, and we got this Mr. Richard Wake in here again, talking crap like he always does, excuse my language. But I'm over them. I'm over them. I don't like Joe Biden, I'm sorry, but I don't. But he's still my president. I'm still going to respect what he says.
Okay.
I have to test every single day. I am fully vaccinated. I have to test every single day. I do it because I'm told to do it. So that's my opinion about that. Jesus is my Lord and Savior also. And people get upset because you talk about the last president. Well, in order to fix the future, you have to look back sometimes and see what was wrong in the past so you could fix it.
Okay.
If you don't look back, how are you going to know what to fix? So when people get all upset, oh, don't mention her, don't do this, don't do that, you know what? They need to stay in their lane. You're the president, not them. I know we're the members. I'm a dues paying member. I've only been with the state for 2 years, so I'm not bitter and sour yet, and I'm not going to be. Because God has me where he needs me to be. And that's on this phone call tonight, because I finally got to get on here with you. And so, this is my question. Sorry about all that. Oh, there's a custodian in our feed, too, that was asking about some help with the custodian stuff. Her name's Becky. I just wanted to mention it to you because she mentioned it in the live feed. I'm watching you on the Facebook Live, too.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is a kind of an issue that we're having. I work in the dental department at Coalinga State Hospital. We can't get gloves. We're dental, so we're in the patient's mouth. We're struggling. I know PPE gear is hard to get right now. We're getting gloves that have holes in them. Stuff's going through them. We can't get gowns to wear while we're working on the patients. The masks, everything is coming in a different language that we don't understand, so we can't even see what level they are. I bought my own, so I knew I was having the correct level and everything. So just to make sure. So I've tried, I've reached out, and nobody's really helping us, so I don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck there. I emailed you and I texted you about it.
Wait a minute.
Saturday.
You text me on the phone?
Saturday morning.
Text me on the phone?
On the 408, on the 408, yeah.
Oh boy.
207-2339.
And I locked you in my, okay.
But it was early Saturday morning. State workers are usually asleep,
No,
remember?
I'm up. I'm not your normal. I'm up. But I don't have you.
I know you are.
I don't have you locked in my phone. Rebecca Cardoza?
Yeah, I'm Tooth Girl on every other things.
Okay, I want you to text me
That's the
again.
number I text.
I want you to text me again because
Okay.
I don't think I have you locked in my phone. If you don't have your gloves and your stuff, and you're working at the Coalinga Hospital doing dental work, you got to have that for safety. They cannot supply you that. That's a safety hazard.
I know.
All right, so.
And at CDCR, when I was at CMC, they had all that. So when I came from CMC to DSH,
Right.
we had it in the beginning.
So.
But the gowns are so thin that it goes through.
So no, we have to fix that immediately. So I want you to send me the text. I want you to call. I don't know your job store for Coalinga.
It's Mr. Early, and I've reached out to him, but I don't ever hear anything back.
Wait a minute.
Or Rico is our president.
Tommy Rico.
He's our president, but he's got 771
It's big. Okay, and Coalinga is down the, I know where that's at. Okay. All right, so I want you to call the MRC at 866-471-7348. You have to get those gloves and stuff for you and your colleagues. You cannot do that. Certain things you just cannot
We
do.
see patients from quarantine units. We're
Okay.
seeing patients from quarantine
So
units.
I don't know how much money you've had to spend out of your pocket, but management should be providing that. That's a big issue. If they're not, then you gotta let us know so we can get you this protective clothing immediately. You can't.
And the other girls that I work with don't really like to ruffle feathers.
Okay, that's fine.
But,
I got you.
They call you an angry black man. Well, I'm a Portuguese female, and as I always say, our husbands wish we would give them the silent treatment. So
Okay.
I'm pretty vocal.
All right, but look, you cannot be doing that type of work. And I know these husbands are on this call listening to me. You cannot do this kind of work without having the proper equipment. So if management is not giving you the proper equipment, yeah, we can file the grievance, but that doesn't fix the problem immediately. So
No.
if you and your colleagues need this paid for, call the MRC at 866-471-7348. You have my phone number.
Okay.
We will pay. We will get
Or
you
we
these.
text you.
Yeah, we will get you these supplies immediately. You cannot do that.
No, and it's been a while. I've only been there a year. Like I said, it was just kind of my way to get back home to get to where I wanted to. But
Okay.
Before I leave next week, I just wanted to make sure that you knew what was going on
Yeah.
because it's
No,
it is what it is,
yeah, we gotta
and
fix
we're
that.
trying.
Yeah, and I should have
but-
responded to your call on Saturday. I don't know why I didn't. So that won't happen again either. Because I respond to people's calls on Saturday
It's
and
okay.
Sunday.
I
so,
understand.
Yeah, and I wonder.
You're a busy man, and I know that.
Yeah, I wondered. And you
My
said to
area code's 559
Okay. I'm gonna look for it in my phone.
because I'm in the Central Valley. But you're doing an amazing job, and they keep trying to put you in a square box because you're the president. You know what? Richard Lewis Brown, you are not a square. You are a circle. You're going on and on. You're going to make this union amazing. Everybody told me not to join the union. Guess what? I'm here at the right time.
You got it.
I'm in the right place.
You got
and
it.
I have the best president.
Oh my
There
gosh.
he is. So thank you so much
Oh my
for your
God.
time.
Well,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you very much.
And the haters, Satan fights who's working for God. You're working for God because you've got a lot of Satan out there pushing your buttons. But that's okay.
Got that right. Thank you for your phone call. Thank you so much for being so supportive. You make a great point about the July 6th emergency board meeting, that they wouldn't give me the quorum. First they started, and I had all the people there, a lot of the DLC presidents and bunk chairs, and then it was time to take the quorum, to take the vote to help Lansing County, and we was going to do a vote on establishing full-time union leave for the VPs. They wouldn't give me the quorum. Yet some of these same people had their out-of-order, illegal board meeting a few weeks ago where they're claiming they've stripped me of all my powers. All this is going to get straightened out. That's a promise. All right, last caller, Carolyn. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Richard. I had a few items I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
First, I wanted to thank, he's not on the call, but VP Secretary Treasurer David Jimenez for coming to down to the Van Nuys State Building and meeting with the bargaining unit 15 folks.
Okay.
That was greatly appreciated. He also agreed to meet with units 1 and 4 later in the year, so that was really awesome.
Okay.
So wanted to thank you for my COPE committee appointment. I know I hadn't done that
Okay. You're very welcome.
publicly, so thank you. I'm kind of conflicted on this last part though,
Okay.
so I just need some understanding. So I'm just going to ask you, and you can answer freely.
Sure.
In your 10-point plan, you have stated that you are creating a culture of excellence. How do you intend to foster an environment of unity when calling members names like evildoers, the hateful eight,
Right.
etc.? How
Right.
is that bringing positivity to our union?
You know what? And I'm glad that you asked that question about evildoers and the hateful eight. It pains me that I have to address people with those types of terms. But sometimes when you have to call out the truth and you have to use very descriptive words to bring attention to the evilness that they're doing, then you have to call out for what it is. So in order to create a new culture for Local 1000, you have to call out the evil ones for the hypocrisy and the evilness they've been doing for a great many years. And you can try to use more positive words to describe their actions. But when the police were called to my house on May 25th at 5 o'clock in the morning, I knew from that day forward that this was going to be a war on my hands, because I could have lost my life that day. So some of the words that I use, people have taken, and I have a way with words that people will repeat my words. So when I say evildoers, I'm not the first person to use that word, but when I use it with the way I say it with my pitch, it grabs your attention. When I say the hateful eight, I must always acknowledge the great Quentin Tarantino. Those are his words. I don't steal people's words. I always acknowledge if I use a phrase that came from someone else. I have said words in the past like, quote, the science of being stuck on stupid. I have said these things. And sometimes they come across hurtful. And I actually, when I swore in on June 27th, about 4:30 that day, I asked people to forgive me for my words. And so I would still ask people in the future to forgive me for my words. Because I'm not going to always say things perfectly. But I'm going to say things in such a way you'll never forget Richard Lewis Brown. And my name is known throughout this entire state. So if I've said something to you to offend you, then I'll ask you to forgive me. But what you won't see is that the words that I use, I'm not apologetic for saying them, because I'm saying them with sincerity, with love in my heart. What they're doing is creating evilness and despair, and they're displaying their hypocrisy, and they're, quote, resistant to, quote, create a new culture for Local 1000.
I also wanted to bring to your attention really quickly before I go.
Okay.
I know one of the previous callers had mentioned the Facebook Live comments. I had noticed two people, no less than two people, mentioning that they were going to drop the union because of what's happening. So you might want to look into that, get in touch with those members, because they're planning on leaving us. So.
And you know what, Carolyn, before you get off, I'm looking into one camera, looking into another camera. Some people, and you see me sometimes, people are texting me. So I'm doing like 3 things, and I'm writing, taking notes. The one thing I can't do is watch the comments, because my iPad is away from my hand. So when people are saying that they're trying to quit the union, we don't want anyone to quit the union. As a job steward, we want to always encourage people to stay with the union, even those who, quote, hate my guts. We ask people, stay with the union, we need your support. So if there's anybody on Facebook who's saying quit the union, I ask them with respect. Just because you disrespect, the truth almost came out, just because you disrespect me, but just because you don't like me, you dislike me, you don't have to quit the union. It's not like, in the country, if a president wins and you don't like the president, then you say, well, I'm just going to renounce my American citizenship and I'm going to move to another country. That's not what we do as Americans. We do not give up. We're fighters to the end. So I ask anybody, you don't give up on Local 1000. If you think that by you giving up on Local 1000 because you say that my demeanor, my words is so irrelevant, so unprofessional, that you have to walk away from this union, you're not really talking about me. You're really making a statement about yourself. All right, next caller, Cheryl Allen, DLC 768 President. Cheryl Allen. Let me call you correctly. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Hey, Richard. Good evening, SEIU family. I just wanted to kind of make a comment in regards to what Carolyn said. And I'm working real hard to keep this above board and not be venomous or hateful. But it is very disheartening to not only see what some of these presidents are doing and saying about you and your leadership, but it is like a slap in the face and speaking out of both sides of your mouth to get on this type of a forum and thank you for an appointment to what I believe is what you wanted to do, and then turn around and bring up a situation or bring up how someone is defending themselves against the words and actions that are being taken against him. Now, it is no secret, I was previously one of the most vocal president, or one of the most vocal members against Richard Lewis Brown. I did not necessarily agree with his 10-point program, and I definitely did not appreciate the manner in which he introduced himself as a president to SEIU Local 1000. But as I stated in many of the emails and chains that have been sent over the past month through the board of directors, how many have taken the time out to have a conversation with this individual? And when I say a conversation, I don't mean shouting at him, I don't mean being disrespectful, I don't mean speaking to him in a demanding or in a condescending type of way. I mean speaking to him in a manner in which you want to be spoken to. From what I've been able to gather so far, I find it hard to believe that any of them have had that type of conversation with you, because every time I hear them, they are always screaming, they're always demanding, they're always rude, insulting, and downright belittling, and it's just not right. As I stated in one of the last emails, it's not about supporting you, it's about supporting what is right. It is not about following your 10-point program, it's about standing up for the oath and what we have all taken that oath to mean, and that is to support our members, to be a part and be a representative and an advocate for our members. How can you advocate for your members? How can you stand up and be a steward/organizer for your members when you are spending so much time spreading not only lies but half-truths, and then spreading them in such a way that they can't be helped to be nothing but hateful and dissensions? So I have to say, I'm sick of the mess, and I wish it would stop. I'm tired of it, and there's no way that you can make me believe that you have the members' in best intent at heart. If that's all you do, y'all need to stop. You need to cut it out. You dead ass wrong. You couldn't hear a rat pissing on cotton under the last president, but now here you got this man in office, and now everybody has a voice. Everybody wants to stand up. Everybody demands this, that, and the third. You wrong. You dead ass wrong. You will reap what you sow. Mark my words. I'm done.
You know what? We want to. So here's how we're going to end tonight, because I see repeat callers, and I see where this is headed. So we want to thank DLC 768 President Cheryl Allen for her inspirational words. Melissa, Carolyn, and Michael, we're not going to be able to go another round because it's 8:17, and I know the staff hasn't looked at me crazy yet, but they will. So we're going to stop this. I said what I had to say tonight off the PowerPoint. Other people expressed themselves. I didn't cut off Michael Gus. People have strong opinions about Local 1000. We're Americans. I would not expect anything less. Next week, next Wednesday night, we'll do another Local 1000 Listens to You. It's the day before Veterans Day. Many of you will probably be out celebrating. Maybe you won't tune in. I'm still going to bring my best next Wednesday night. And we're going to get through this. I don't know why I'm so calm right now. We're going to get through this. Keep the faith. Don't lose hope. We will make it through. We are Local 1000. All right, I'm Richard Lewis Brown, Local 1000 President. Today is November 3rd, 2021. It's been a pleasure. And I'll probably do a video here in a day or two. And then I'll see you next Wednesday night as well. Stay tuned and stay on Facebook because I'm going to pop up on you now. Thank you. Have a great evening.